Have you ever found yourself staring into the pantry, thinking, what on earth can I snack on that's actually good for me? Maybe your doctor told you to watch your cholesterol, or maybe your knees are reminding you they're not what they used to be. And still, you just want something small, something crunchy, something satisfying. That's where nuts come in. They seem like such a harmless snack, right? Tiny, natural, and full of good stuff? Or so we're told. But here's the truth. Not all nuts are created equal, especially when you're over 60. Now, if you're anything like most folks I've talked to, you probably assume that grabbing a handful of mixed nuts is a smart, healthy choice. And it can be, if you know which ones to reach for and which ones to leave on the shelf. Because while some nuts can help protect your heart, improve your memory, and even reduce inflammation in your joints, others may actually be doing more harm than good. Surprising, right? So in today's video, we're going to talk about something that could make a real difference in how you feel, whether you're dealing with fatigue, brain fog, or just want to keep your body running smoothly for years to come. We'll go over 2 nuts you should absolutely avoid and 3 that you'll want to include in your routine more often. The difference these tiny foods make might shock you. Let's start with the nuts that can cause more trouble than they're worth. These are the ones you might see in trail mixes or on party platters. They might even be in that container on your kitchen counter right now.
The first one? Cashews. I know, this one often surprises people. They're creamy, they're sweet, and they just feel like they should be healthy. But here's the problem. Cashews are high in oxalates. Oxalates are compounds that can contribute to kidney stones. And for seniors, especially those who may not be drinking as much water as they used to, that's no small risk. On top of that, cashews are one of the highest fat nuts around. And while some fats are great for your body, the specific balance of fats in cashews can contribute to weight gain and inflammation if eaten regularly and in larger amounts. And here's something most people never realize. Many store-bought cashews are roasted in seed oils, like sunflower or canola oil, that are often highly processed and inflammatory. That means you're not just eating the nut, you're also getting a dose of something your body might struggle to process. That inflammation can show up as aching joints, stiffness in the morning, or even digestive discomfort. Now, before we move on, I want to say something important. 1 or 2 cashews here and there probably won't hurt you. The problem comes when they become your go-to snack. When they're eaten often and in larger handfuls, they quietly chip away at the progress you might be making with your health. The second nut to avoid is a tough one because it often feels like a health food, the peanut. Technically, peanuts aren't even a true nut, they're legumes, but we'll keep them in the mix because they're so common and because the risks they pose are especially important for those of us over 60.
Here's the deal. Peanuts are one of the most mold-prone foods out there. Even in perfectly legal, FDA-approved amounts, peanuts can contain a toxin called aflatoxin, a byproduct of mold that grows during storage. This toxin has been linked to liver issues and, in some cases, even cancer. For younger folks, their bodies may be able to clear it out more easily. But as we age, our detox pathways, especially the liver, don't always run as efficiently. So eating a peanut butter sandwich every day or snacking on salted peanuts while watching TV at night could quietly be putting stress on your liver without you even knowing it. And that's not all. Peanuts are often roasted in hydrogenated oils and doused in salt, both of which can raise blood pressure, increase cholesterol, and inflame your arteries. If you've been told to watch your heart, this is one nut that's best left out of your routine. But it's not all doom and gloom, because there are some amazing nuts that can actually work for your body, not against it. These are the kinds of snacks you can reach for and feel good about, because they help you stay sharp, keep your heart strong, and even support joint health. And the best part? They're delicious, satisfying, and easy to find. The first one I always recommend, especially to folks over 60, is the walnut. Now this nut is a true brain booster. If you take a walnut and crack it open, you might notice it even looks a little like a brain. And funny enough, that's exactly what it supports. Walnuts are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, a plant-based form of the healthy fats you'd usually find in fish like salmon. These fats are anti-inflammatory and help feed your brain cells, supporting memory, mood, and mental clarity. If you've ever had a day where you walked into a room and forgot why you were there, or you misplaced your keys for the third time this week, adding a few walnuts to your day might be a simple, natural way to give your brain a little help. Even just a small handful a few times a week can make a difference. Walnuts also support heart health and circulation, which means more oxygen getting to your brain, and more energy overall. And here's something people rarely talk about. They can help calm inflammation throughout your body, which is one of the biggest hidden causes of pain and aging-related decline. The older we get, the more important it is to keep inflammation in check. And walnuts are one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory foods. So the next time you're reaching for a snack, think twice before grabbing those cashews or peanuts. Instead, try keeping a small jar of walnuts nearby. Toss them into oatmeal, chop them into a salad, or just enjoy them plain. It's a small change that can add up to big results. Now that we've talked about a few nuts to be cautious with, and the first one to always keep on hand, let's move on and talk about another nut that's not only good for you, it can help support your bones and muscles too. Because when we think about getting older, one of the biggest concerns, besides memory and heart health, is keeping our strength. You want to be able to carry the groceries, play with the grandkids, get up from the couch without groaning, right? And that brings us to another powerhouse nut that can help support your muscles, bones, and energy levels: the almond. Now, almonds have been around forever. They're one of the most popular nuts in the world, and for good reason. But what makes them especially helpful for seniors is their impressive combination of nutrients that your body actually needs more of as you age. Things like magnesium, calcium, and vitamin E. Let's talk about magnesium for a moment. This little mineral doesn't get the attention it deserves. Most people don't realize how many things magnesium helps regulate in the body: muscle function, nerve signals, even sleep. And as we get older, our ability to absorb magnesium from food drops, while our need for it actually increases. That's why adding foods rich in magnesium, like almonds, can give your body the boost it's quietly asking for.
Then there's vitamin E. This is a powerful antioxidant that protects your cells from damage. Think of it like a little bodyguard, helping slow down the signs of aging and supporting your immune system, your skin, and even your eyes. And guess what? Almonds are one of the best natural sources of vitamin E you can eat. Here's something I like to suggest to folks. Try keeping a small handful of raw or dry roasted almonds in a jar on the kitchen counter, or near your favorite chair. When you get the urge to snack, reach for those instead of cookies or chips. Your body will thank you, especially your joints and your muscles. And you might even notice fewer sugar cravings over time, since almonds can help balance blood sugar and keep you feeling full longer. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but aren't almonds high in calories? Yes, they are calorie-dense, but they're also nutrient-dense. The trick is not to eat them mindlessly. Just a small handful, around 10 to 12 almonds, is enough to give your body what it needs without going overboard. Quality over quantity. All right, we've talked about walnuts for your brain and almonds for your bones. But there's one more nut I want to tell you about. One that's a bit lesser known, but packs a serious health punch, especially if you're trying to stay sharp, energized, and regular. I'm talking about Brazil nuts. Now, Brazil nuts are a bit of a secret weapon when it comes to supporting your thyroid, a tiny gland in your neck that has a huge impact on your energy, metabolism, and overall health. And what makes Brazil nuts so special is that they're loaded with a mineral called selenium. Selenium is like rocket fuel for your thyroid. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day is often enough to meet your entire daily requirement. That's how powerful they are. And when your thyroid is working well, your body burns energy more efficiently, your mood stays steadier, and you feel more like yourself, not sluggish, foggy, or anxious. But here's the key. With Brazil nuts, less is more. You don't want to eat a whole handful. Just 1 or 2 nuts a day is plenty.
Eating too many can actually give you too much selenium, which isn't good either. So treat these nuts more like a supplement than a snack. Tiny, but mighty. Another bonus? Brazil nuts are rich in healthy fats and protein, which means they help keep you full longer and can support weight management. And let's be honest, after 60, managing weight becomes a bit more challenging. Your metabolism naturally slows down, and even if your eating habits haven't changed, the scale might still creep up. That's where smart, nutrient-dense foods like Brazil nuts come in. They give you what your body needs without all the extras you don't. Now, some folks tell me they've never even tried a Brazil nut, or they don't know where to find them. Most grocery stores have them, either in the baking aisle or where you'd find other raw nuts. Look for unsalted, raw, or dry roasted options. You can even break them into smaller pieces and sprinkle them on oatmeal or yogurt if eating them whole feels like too much. And before we go any further, I want to gently remind you, this isn't about making huge, overwhelming changes to your diet. You don't need to throw out every snack in your house or swear off your favorite foods. Instead, think of this as a chance to make 1 or 2 better choices each day. Swap out the peanuts for walnuts, skip the cashews, and have a few almonds instead. Add a Brazil nut in the morning. That's it. Little by little, these choices add up. Your body starts working with you, not against you. Your energy lifts, your brain clears up. You may even notice fewer aches and pains, better sleep, and a stronger sense of well-being overall. And here's something else I want you to know. It's never too late to start. Whether you're 60, 70, or even 85, you can make changes that improve how you feel. Our bodies are incredibly resilient, even later in life. They respond to care, nourishment, and attention. So don't let age convince you that your best days are behind you. They're not.
Sometimes it just takes the right information and a little motivation to help you make the changes that matter most. Now that you know the 2 nuts to steer clear of and the 3 that your body will truly thank you for, let's take a moment to go just a little deeper. Because there's one more thing you should keep in mind when choosing nuts, not just which type, but how they're processed. The way nuts are prepared can make all the difference in whether they're truly helping your health or quietly harming it. Because when we talk about the benefits of nuts, it's not just what you eat, it's how those nuts are handled before they even make it to your kitchen. Let's start with something simple that most people overlook: roasting. Now, roasting nuts can bring out that rich, toasty flavor we all love, but the kind of roasting matters. Many store-bought nuts are roasted at very high temperatures in cheap, refined oils like canola, soybean, or corn oil. These oils are often genetically modified, heavily processed, and can promote inflammation in the body, especially if you're already dealing with arthritis or joint stiffness. When those healthy almonds or walnuts are soaked in those oils and blasted with high heat, they start to lose some of their nutritional value. Worse, they can actually form harmful compounds that your body doesn't process well. That's why I always suggest looking for nuts labeled dry roasted, with no added oils, or better yet, raw. You can even gently toast them at home in your oven if you prefer that warm crunch, but you'll know exactly what's going into your food. And let's not forget the salt. Now, I know a little salt makes everything taste better, and salt isn't the enemy when used wisely, but many packaged nuts come absolutely loaded with sodium, far more than most seniors need, especially if you're managing high blood pressure. Just think about it. One small handful of salted peanuts or mixed nuts can have more sodium than an entire meal. It's sneaky, and it adds up quickly.
If you find yourself craving that salty kick, try this little trick. Buy unsalted nuts and add just a light sprinkle of sea salt yourself, or, even better, a pinch of garlic powder or paprika for flavor. That way, you control how much goes on, and your heart will thank you for it. There's another thing I want to mention here, because it often gets missed when we talk about healthy eating: portion size. It's easy to overdo it with nuts. They're small, they're crunchy, and somehow they disappear faster than you realize, especially when you're sitting in front of the TV or reading a good book. I've had people tell me, well, I only had a few, and then realize they polished off half a bag without noticing. And I get it. It's not about guilt or rules. But when you're aiming to stay active and energized, especially after 60, being mindful of how much you eat can go a long way. Most of the benefits of nuts come from small servings. You don't need a bowl. You just need a handful. That's usually around 1/4 cup, give or take. If you want to be extra mindful, try portioning them out into little jars or containers once a week. That way, you can enjoy them easily without going overboard. Now, let's take a breath here, because if you've gotten this far, you might be thinking, okay, so let me get this straight. I have to avoid peanuts and cashews, choose walnuts, almonds, and Brazil nuts, watch the roasting oils, be careful with salt, and not eat too many? It might sound like a lot, but really, it's just a shift in awareness. You're not being asked to overhaul your entire lifestyle. You're simply learning to make smarter choices that support your body, your brain, and your quality of life. And you know what? You've probably already made changes like this before. You've lived through so many seasons of life. You've raised families, worked jobs, helped others. You've adapted time and time again. This is just one more small step in the direction of feeling your best.
And you deserve to feel your best. You deserve to wake up with energy. You deserve to move with ease. You deserve to enjoy your meals and know they're working for you, not against you. So, let's recap. Not like a checklist, but more like a story you're now a part of. You've learned that cashews, as creamy and tasty as they are, can be hard on your kidneys and are often roasted in inflammatory oils. Peanuts, though popular and familiar, can carry mold toxins and unhealthy fats, especially harmful for aging livers and hearts. On the flip side, you now know that walnuts are brain food, great for memory, mood, and fighting inflammation. Almonds support strong bones, stable energy, and even better sleep thanks to magnesium and vitamin E. And those Brazil nuts? They're your tiny thyroid boosters, just 1 or 2 a day helping to keep your energy, weight, and metabolism in balance. You've learned how to spot hidden dangers in roasted and salted nut mixes, and how to make better choices by picking raw or dry roasted versions. And you've learned that when it comes to nuts, just a handful is all you need to enjoy their full benefits without overdoing it. And here's my favorite part. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Even choosing one of these nuts a few times a week and skipping the ones that don't serve you, that alone is a big win.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a little encouragement. You may be in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, but that doesn't mean your health story is over. In fact, this might just be one of the most powerful chapters of your life. A chapter where you don't chase fad diets or confusing advice, but instead listen to your body, feed it what it needs, and feel the difference day by day. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by all the health information out there or unsure of who to trust, I want you to know you can take control. And it starts with something as simple and natural as the food you put in your body. One handful of the right kind of nuts, one smart choice at a time. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these healthy nuts before? Have you noticed a difference when you swapped out one kind for another? Share your thoughts or your own tips in the comments below. Your story might just help someone else who's watching today. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, science-backed advice on how to thrive at any age. We've got lots more to talk about, from boosting energy naturally to protecting your memory, easing joint pain, and more. Remember, your health isn't behind you. It's still right here, waiting to be nurtured, supported, and enjoyed. Here's to living your best life, one bite at a time.
You've got this.